Welcome to the 2018 Fort Gibson Public Schools Veterans Day program. I am Rosie Glover.
And I am Cooper Shook.
To begin our assembly, we would like to start by honoring those of you who have served our country. As the band plays Salute to America's Finest, we ask that anyone who has served in our armed forces stand and be recognized as your military branch song is played. Army.
Navy. Navy.
Coast Guard.
Marines.
Air Force.
Thank you, Royal Regiment. And now, please welcome Miss Seymour and the Intermediate Elementary Select Choir as they present Salute to America.
Thank you, Ms. Seymour and the IE Select Choir.
In 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed a bill proclaiming November 11th as Veterans Day and called upon Americans to rededicate themselves to the cause of peace. We are here today to honor our veterans who have served and are serving for our country. Please stand as Cub Scout Pack 368, represented by James Reed, Cash Sparks, and Ethan Molster, present the colors.
The Pledge of Allegiance to the flag should be rendered by standing at attention, facing the flag, with the right hand over the heart. If not in uniform, a person should remove his or her hat with the right hand and hold it at the left shoulder with the hand over the heart.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Star-Spangled Banner was first written as a poem on September 14, 1814. The banner didn't become our national anthem until 1931. No other song symbolizes the patriotic history of the United States or the spirit of America like the Star-Spangled Banner.
Please remain standing as the Fort Gibson High School Select Choir sings our national anthem.
Please welcome the high school choir as they sing Tell My Father with soloists Kinley Wilson and Garrett Abel.
didn't run or surrender, that I bore his name with pride as I tried to remember. You are judged by what you do while passing through. After rusty fields of green, let him lean on my shoulder. Tell him how I spent my youth, so the truth could grow older. Tell my father when you can, I was a man. Tell him we will meet again, where the angels learn to fly. Tell him we will meet as men, for with honor did I die. Tell him how I wore the blue, proud and true, through the fire. Tell my father so he'll know I loved him so. Tell him we will meet again, where the angels learn to fly. Tell him we will meet as men, for with honor did I die. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Tell him we will meet again, where the angels learn to fly. Tell him we will meet as men, for with honor did I die. Tell him how I wore the blue, proud and true, like he taught me. Tell my father not to cry, then say goodbye.
Thank you, Select Choir. Please welcome the ELC music teacher, Miss Renee Evans, as she leads all ELC students in singing Thankful for the USA.
Thank you, Mrs. Evans and ELC students.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest with us here today, Lieutenant Colonel Brian Danger DeShazo. Lieutenant Colonel DeShazo served in the U.S. Army from January 23, 1990 to August 31, 2018, with over 28 years of service. He enlisted in the Army as a private and attended basic training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. He graduated from advanced individual training as a wheeled vehicle operator in 1991. He served as an enlist soldier in the Army National Guard before being enlisted to attend Officer Candidate School. He graduated from Officer Candidate School as a second lieutenant in July 1993.
Lieutenant Colonel DeShazo graduated the U.S. Army Engineer Basic Course in 1995. He was then assigned to the 120th Engineer Battalion in Oklahoma, where he served in many leadership positions. In 1999, he graduated from the U.S. Army Engineer Advanced Course and the Command and Staff Support School. In 2003, Lieutenant Colonel DeShazo was called with his unit to deploy to Iraq in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. He served 12 months in country conducting engineer missions all over Iraq.
In 2011, Lieutenant Colonel DeShazo graduated from Command and General Office Staff course. In 2012, Lieutenant Colonel DeShazo was once again called on by his nation to deploy to Afghanistan to support an Operation Enduring Freedom. He served as the battalion executive for Task Force Outlaw, charged with clearing roadside bombs in southern Afghanistan.
In 2017, Lieutenant Colonel DeShazo was tasked with one last mission to deploy in support of Operation Inherent Resolve. He served as the engineer director for the Special Operations Joint Task Force, charged with eliminating the threat from the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. Upon his return from this deployment, Lieutenant Colonel DeShazo retired from the Army with over 21 years of active federal service.
Some of his awards and decorations are the Bronze Star Medal, Diffuse Meritorious Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal, Afghanistan Campaign Medal, Operation Inherent Resolve Campaign Medal, Meritorious Unit Commendation, Navy Unit Commendation, NATO Medal, Combat Action Badge, Bronze Order of the DeFleury Medal.
Please welcome Lieutenant Colonel Brian DeShazo.
Well, good morning. Thank you for inviting me to speak here this morning. I'm honored to have served my country and to be in great company with these other fellow veterans here today. One thing that I forgot to put in my biography is that I'm currently the adjutant for American Legion Post 20 here in Fort Gibson, and very proud of that and glad to have some of my fellow Legion members here today. I have the honor of having one daughter, Kirsty, that graduated from Fort Gibson. I also have three other kids that attend here. Kane is a senior, Carly is a sophomore, and Liberty is a third grader. So love the school and love being here and very honored. Being a veteran is one of the greatest honors anyone can earn. It is important that we always remember and honor our veterans and never forget the sacrifices they have made. People always ask me, how come I chose to serve in the military? I always tell them, not only for the pride of country and a sense of service, but I also serve so that my family members didn't have to. I sacrificed and went to combat so that my family didn't have to. I took their place in order to represent my family in the defense of our country. You see, if these brave men and women didn't serve, then who would? Our country will not defend itself. We cannot take for granted the freedom we have. It is only possible because of the sacrifice of a few. I shivered as I tried to sleep on a concrete and dirt floors so my family could sleep in a warm bed. I attended a chapel service in full body armor in the middle of the desert so my family can attend a worship service in a church building. I ate cold meals and sometimes didn't have a meal in order for my family to have 3 hot meals a day or to be able to go to a restaurant to eat. I'm not alone in my sacrifices, as most of these veterans have done the same or even more sacrifices. I have a message for each person here today. To the students, all of you are never too young to honor veterans in our country. You kids can honor veterans simply by thanking a veteran when you see them. You can also stand tall and proud during the Pledge of Allegiance and the National Anthem. You can help the spouse of a veteran that is deployed. You can help a disabled veteran that needs work around their house. Or maybe even one day volunteer yourself to serve in the armed forces. To the teachers and adults here, you can do all the things that I just suggested for the kids to do, but you also have a responsibility to teach the younger ones and others around you how to honor our veterans in our country. Take pride in that. I can tell you that spouses have a lot harder time and have the harder task while their service member is deployed, without a doubt. My wife's been through so much, and I thank her so much for everything she did to keep the family together while I was gone, and it's definitely tough to have to do everything on your own. And so I salute and honor the spouses. They serve just as much as our veterans do. Let me charge you with supporting the spouses when you know that their loved one is deployed. Support them, check on them, make sure they are taken care of. Teachers, identify kids of deployed service members that are at your schools. Give these kids extra care. Be understanding when they're having a bad day, or at times when they seem unengaged. To our veterans, I am forever grateful for your service. Thank you for your service. This country would not be the great country it is with all the freedoms that we enjoy without each and every one of you serving our country. We honor you. In closing, let us never forget the sacrifices of our veterans have made. Let us never take them for granted or think for 1 second that our armed forces are not necessary. Those countries that have done these things have fallen as a nation or no longer have the freedoms that we are privileged to have. May we never forget, it is only by the mighty hand of God that we continue to be the great nation we are. May God continue to bless this school, this town, this state, and our country. Bless our veterans and their families. I salute our veterans. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DeShazo.
Someone once said, "Freedom is never free." To commemorate those who have risked their lives to enable us to be free, Please direct your attention as Fort Gibson High School Band performs Battle Hymn of the Republic.
May we never forget the men and women who have served and continue to serve for our freedom, some of whom have made the ultimate sacrifice of their very own lives for our own freedom.
At this time, would you please join us as we observe a moment of silence to remember all of our veterans that have lost their lives defending our nation? Please stand for a moment of silence.
Please remain standing as Club Scout Pack 638 retires the colors.
Today, there is, and perhaps always will be, conflict in the world. But the United States of America, fortunately, continues to enjoy one of the greatest blessings we have been given, our freedom. Like other things of great value, this security did not come cheaply.
May we always remember on this day to pay tribute to our veterans by recognizing what they have achieved, what they are achieving, and will join them in the resolve to keep America strong and free.
This concludes our 2018 Veterans Day program. Thank you for coming, and God bless America.